Hey, everybody. Looks like we got people from everywhere. We've been going through the list, before we go live. So happy holidays. Some people are freezing. Some people have great weather. I see aloha from Hawaii. We all wish we were there. Okay, let's see. We've got Alaska. Good morning, Nancy Moore. And we've got Arito Hayashi from Colorado. A lot of people from Texas. Sunny, foggy California. The times we've driven through California in the morning, like central California, that fog is notorious. So we know what you're going through here, or we've seen it. Denton, Texas. Hey, Sandra, how are you? All right, we do appreciate y'all. We know it's close to busy season in the homes, so we do appreciate y'all tuning in to us today. But let's get going. Hopefully, we've got a good number of people online. So let's go ahead and get started. So welcome to our Behind the Shine. This is our online platform for collection reveals, embroidery tips, techniques, and projects. So today's subject is classic collections. I call them forgotten favorites. We have 180 some odd collections of designs. And when we do the shows, we have a limited amount of space to show these samples and these new collections. And of course, I do more than one sample for a lot of the collections. So a lot of the stuff from prior years gets either it's underneath the quilt, or you got to flip to find it, or it stays home because we're just running out of room. So it's fun, every once in a while goes, oh yeah, I remember that one. That was so cool. So we want to show some of these to you and just remind you of them, or maybe if it's something you didn't know you were looking for, and then you can think about something that might apply to a reason for doing a project, that kind of thing. So that's what today is going to be about. And Tom's trying to tell me something.
Your bag.
Oh, yes. Okay. So if y'all tuned in last month, we did our travel collection review, and I kept talking about how the release was a few days later because there was still a project I was working on. Well, you're going to see what that project is. It was in video, I think. But what I did was I took the passport stamps, stitched them on cork, and when I showed you that was before it went into the project. And I made this bag. So you can see that was a little bit time consuming. It was a lot of fun to do. It is not by no means a beginner project, but this is what I was working on. And what this is, and we're going to have the pattern on the website. It's the by Annie pattern, Divide and Conquer. And what's so cool about this, there's a lot going on with this, but you got a real bag here. This has compartments on each side. So this is vinyl. And then you got the pages inside, and each page has its own mesh pocket, so you can put whatever you want in here. These make great project bags as well. So both sides have that compartment in there. So it was a lot to do, but it was a lot of fun. Now, heaven forbid I actually put it in the materials that they recommend. I was thinking, like a leather bag. So I did mine out of faux leather. That was challenging. So that's what, and I quilted it. Here's the back here. But it was a fun project to do, and it was satisfying. I kind of liked the way it turned out. So if you want to do that, it's you could really put anything on these, but we thought it would be really appropriate with the passport stamps. So we will have this on our website before the end of the weekend coming up. So we just wanted to update you on that, because that's the thing I was waiting to do when we ran out of time and finally got it done. All right, so let's get on to the subject today. First of all, I want to remind y'all that as long as you are making your comments over in the side there, hi, where you're from, that kind of thing, you will be entered for our door prize. Also, the questions, what we've learned through doing these, if you have a question, please put a question mark at the end, because the system that we use will tag those for us, and we'll be able to find the questions more easily. So we may be able to answer more questions. As long as you put that question mark at the end of your question, it will allow us to see it. And we will try to get to as many as we can. And of course, we've got our free design today and our door prize. We reveal those at the end of the show, so we want y'all to hang out. And it's the same format as we did last time. We'll reveal it, and then we will do our door prize. And then be sure and follow us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. Okay? So let's, for those not familiar with Mylar Embroidery, if it's your first time visiting with us, welcome. We do have a Getting Started page on our website. And not only does it show you about transferring from your CD to your computer, from your download to your USB, we do have the videos that show how easy it is to do a Mylar embroidery design. So it gives you all the details in that. So if you're not familiar, check that out, okay? So we have, I want to tell you this up front about our special offer. We are showing 10 collections today, and that special offer is going to be on each one of these collections. So be sure if there's something that interests you, jot that down, but you will still be able to see when we show you where to do the special offer. We're going to show you what those are if you didn't remember or write it down. But the special offer is going to be on the collections today. I wanted to tell you up front, so if you wanted to really look at, what we're highlighting, that's why we're showing these. You're getting a special offer on those. Okay. So let's get into our classic collections. Again, Tom calls them classic. I call them forgotten favorites. Okay. So, all right. You ready, Tom?
Yep.
All right. This is our first one, and it's actually behind me here, and it is our Mylar Femme Fatale. And there's 31 designs in this one, 5x7s, which are the designs you see behind me. And we're going to show these close-ups as well. 5x7s, and there's some 4x4s included in these. And when I give you these dimensions, I'm telling you what hoop size these fit within. I know a lot of machines have different hoop sizes, but these are the general ones that these will fit in. And I also wanted to remind people, because we do learn a lot about y'all when we do these shows. When you see our packaging, you are getting what's on the front, plus what's on the back. You will not see these on the back. By putting them on the front, it gives us more room to show the rest of them on the back. So everything you see, the front and the back, is what's included with the collection. And again, all the formats are available. So let's look at some of these. I always like to do a project. This is my outlet, my creative outlet. So I like to do something different every time. So we did a storefront with the 5x7 designs. We did an awning. There is not a pattern for this, but I'm going to show you later some of the things some of our customers have done. And as you are creating things, we love to see pictures of them. So when you get your project finished, please send them to us, because we have a customer sample page. The other sample that I did is showing our 4x4s on there. And we're going to show that again a little later. But here you can see it is just a storefront with the awning. And, what I like to look for is, we'll call them architectural patterns, fabric, whatever, bricks and wood and that kind of thing. It's hard to tell here, but it's kind of a crackle look on this background here. So let's see these close up, Tom. So you can see the main portion of the shoe is where your sparkle is. Each one of these have the fun elements, or makes them cute with the florals and the butterflies and just a different look for each one. You are also getting, in addition to the single 4x4 shoes, you're getting French words. Now that smaller sample that I showed you right here, we do have a pattern for this one, but this one's really easy to do for the storefronts, just by taking a striped fabric And what I did here is I added that jumbo rickrack. You are getting the words femme fatale, and what I did is I put a word below each one of these. I'm going to show it bigger, Tom. So that's a fun little thing. Also, another project idea for femme fatale. I've written, and it's a free pattern on my website, a pattern for the a stabilizer holder. So it hangs and it's got the bags on it, and I didn't bring it in; it's packed up. But if you're curious about that, want to make this, email me and I'll send you directly to where you can download this. But it doesn't have to be for stabilizer. It's got the loops that will hold your stabilizer rolls, but it can be a shoe bag. And you could put the femme fatale on each one of those pockets and then put, and I always like to tell people, you know, we have friends that call our quilts blankets, or they're not really a quilt worthy person. So if you wanted to give something to them and they're really into shoes, that would be a cute project to do. And you would hope that they would at least use those. All right, so let's go to the next one. This is our curly elephants. This has been a popular one when it was out, and people will discover it in digging through some of our stuff at the shows. You are getting 5x7 and 4x4 designs on this. Again, everything on the front plus everything on the back. The elephants are also paired with a mouse, and it's kind of a beach themed design. And we've got 2 samples for this one. So the 5x7s are in the blue and red blocks on that quilt. And then the one on the right is our baby quilt using the 4x4s. Now, on the back of the package, you're going to see all the 4x4s. They're all in gray, okay? Those are what you're seeing in the sample on the right-hand side. What I do when I'm creating my samples is I will pull my thread colors to match the fabrics that I use. So that's why you're seeing all the different colors in that baby quilt, which is fun. So you buy your fabric for your project first, and then you match your colors to it. So that's where they're 4x4s. But there's a lot of different things people have done with these. So it's fun to see, again, what colors people have used on these and what they have made with them. And you can kind of see, as he's scrolling through those, some of the shine. Let me get higher there. You can see the elephant is shiny. And you can see how my colors match my fabrics here. Now there's another really cool, fun element with this one. One of the 4x4 elephants is created to make a trunk to tail border. And the instructions will, the color change chart shows you which elephant that is. And if you've got a hoop big enough, then you can add these in the hoop and stitch them out this way. And then you can continue on just by re-hooping. Multi-hooping in design placement is a good exercise to always know how to do. But that's a fun thing. You could do a little wall hanging like this, or you can do, let me get straight there, a border around your quilt, or just at the bottom kind of thing. Just another fun thing to do. And I think we have, another close-up on some of those 4x4s. I'm going to leave these up here. So you can see those. Each one's doing its own little thing there. And the threads that I've used match those fabrics that I've chosen for the sample. And any of these samples we show, you will see these on the website. Here I've done a cute little t-shirt with that little size is perfect for a bib or for a little kid's t-shirt or a onesie, that kind of thing. All right, moving on. This is a really fun one. Let me see. Let me count. This has little boys and little girls in it. And I think there's 5 girls and 5 boys in here, so it will go either way, and then some of the designs have them both together. But Curly Snow Day with Mylar. So when collection says with Mylar, it means there's a touch of Mylar in each design. So you can see those on the back there. Let's look at the quilts. Okay, so we've got you can see the little boys and the little girls in there. We're going to see them close up, but the blue swirls that you see behind the design, that's part of the design. And you can use that as, if you hoop a batting with your stabilized fabric, that could be your quilting for that block if you wanted to do that. But I also like to do, again, something else fun, because when we do a collection, I just see these projects that I want to do. And I thought it was fun. So the white part down here, I used Minky. Get that up higher. So you can kind of see the texture there, and quilted through that. And then just made it like an activity scene. If you go back to that other one where they can see it better, Tom. There you go. So we've got the sledding and the playing in the snow and throwing the snowballs. And you do get, it's kind of hard to see on this, the word snow day on that. But a lot of fun. Just another fun thing to do. And again, you've got girls and boys, so you can do either or both. There's that blue stitching that I was telling you, the swirls that go through there. And here again, all my colors are coming from my fabric. All right. Oh, well, I wanted to show one quick thing on that last one too. You are also getting, and I'll bring this up higher, you're getting a snowball, which I used for my cornerstones. If I can hold it up there, right? Okay. My cornerstones on this quilt is the snowball that's included in there. So you can see those right here, right here. So I want to say all the time, if there's something you see in a sample, I've given it to you in the collection too. So I don't want to show you anything you're not going to get. All right. Let me make some room here. Try not to hit the dog. Bunny is over here on the side. The right one here. Oh, lost my paper. Okay. Spring Splendor. This is really cool. Each of the designs in this collection gives you the look of, it's upside down, gives you the look of stained glass. So these are really detailed, fun, again with the sparkle, gives you just a stained glass feel. So you can see some of those in those samples there. But we've also given you additional elements that are included in each design. So you can take those separately if you want to and use them by themselves. You know, just a little accent on a shirt or a purse or that kind of thing. And what I've done with that on this bag, upside down, is I took a main design and then I added 2 butterflies on both sides. This was a bag my mom carried, I don't know, for years. And she gave me this old canvas thing and said, see what you can do with that. So it had been used before. So I covered up some of the worn areas with that, but added, she really loved butterflies and dragonflies, so that's why I did this. But it just gives you extra designs that you can use. And you know, when I give you these extra designs, depending upon the theme of the collection, you know, if you're just looking for a little something, we have people come in and say, why don't you have, small designs? Well, a lot of our collections will include smaller designs. So you can go in and see, oh, what else did she give me? Oh, I could do this for this thing. You know, it could be completely unrelated or related. So just want to clue y'all into, don't discount something just because it says, chefs or something. There might be something in there that you could use on something else that would relate to what you're doing. All right, so let's look at some of the close-ups in there. You can see the dragonflies and the butterflies. And again, they all, these ovals fit in a 5x7 hoop. Those are those small designs that I was telling you about. You've got your birds, your hummingbirds, dragonflies, the florals that are included in those. So that's a nice, fun thing. All right. And again, all these samples are available always on the website. Just go to the collection page and you'll see these. All right, frogs. This is a excuse me. This is a fun one because it's always hard to find something or do something for a little boy, boy or girl. And this is our frogs mylar or applique. Each of the designs in this collection, you are getting it in two styles in two ways. So each design comes in as a mylar design, or it can be an applique design. So the two separate designs for that one element, and that applique or mylar is also available in 5x7 and 4x4. So it's a lot of variety that you get with these, whichever way you want to go. This is a cool layout. I like to do the little scene that I've got at the top and the bottom somewhere. And he's showing you the thing. But you're also getting the dragonfly with the shiny wings. There's a floral, and then there's the cattails on here, which one of the cattails, again, like I said, you get them in mylar or you get them in applique. This one is applique, and I've used Minky for the cattail. And then here it is. I can see the shine there, in mylar. So that's a good example showing you get the same design in two styles, okay? So you're not going to just make the mylar one suddenly become applique. It is a separate design, so be sure and look for that. But yeah, it's fun just taking the little elements, creating a little scene with it. That's the one at the top there. And then I've got one at the bottom. So that's just fun. And it's great for, like I said, just another thing for a little boy if you're looking for that. And again, they don't have to be green. They can be whatever color you want to. In this collection, I've only done a few of the applique designs, but I like, when I'm doing them, I like using the Minky in there. You can use regular cotton fabric, but it just gives extra dimension. And, you know, you can't not touch it, you know. So that's a fun element having in a child's quilt as well. So you can see some more of those. And again, in two styles, in two sizes each. All right. Curly, fun in the sun with mylar, which means there's just a touch of mylar in these designs. How many get in that one? Yeah. There's 5x7 designs in this one. It's only one size. And the swirls that you see in there, you are getting, it's included behind the designs. When you see one of our collections that include these swirls, it's usually always the first color change. So if you don't want that swirl on there, just skip the first color change. The swirls do make it look a little more block-like. And if you didn't want it to look like a block, depending on what you're putting it on, you can just skip that first color change. All right, let's see some close-ups in here. The sample that I've done, it's a really big quilt, which is why I don't have it on the table here. I like doing that shadow look behind there. A lot of my samples that I come up with, I get out my graph paper and colored pencils, and that's how I come up with, knowing dimensions, that kind of thing. But that's really, it's just a fun thing. It just gives you that dimension like it's popping off the quilt. Now we're going to look at some close-ups. The cat here, the mylar knit, is the hat, whereas the zebra, it's the sunglasses, which is fun, and the umbrella. We've got the drink for the giraffe, and we've got the flower on the bear there. We got the beak and the sunglasses, and then we've got on the hippo the sunglasses and the jacket, and I've got a close-up of that one. I did a banner with this one, and you can see, or can you, the sparkle in the glasses right there and in the jacket. It's just a fun little thing. This is a great collection for boys or girls as well. So if you're looking for something that will, if you do a lot of kids quilts and you wanted it to go both ways, boys or girls, this is a good selection for that one too. All right. Mylar in Bloom. This has got a lot to it. A lot of possibilities here. So there's 36 designs. You're getting in both 5x7 and 4x4. So you're getting a little bit of a different style type designs in these. We call them 12 quilt motifs. They can be a design on their own as well. And those quilt motifs, you're getting in 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch, and 8-inch block sizes. So there's a lot you can do with them. I've got 3 samples for this. Oh, I got more than that. But we have our 4x4s in that first sample under the words Mylar and Bloom. We've got the really big one, which is behind me, this size, showing the 5x7s. And then we've got the close-ups of the shine. These really, really sparkle a lot. And I'm going to show you in a minute the difference between those 2 styles in the 5x7s. So that's some of the quilting. And this is the largest size, the 8x8. And that's just, I always call these quick throwdown projects. Just a slab of fabric. I stitched, actually it's not even pieced, but I went ahead and did a stitch in the ditch to delineate between the blocks and then stitched them out. And this just, it goes through all the way to the back. It's hard to see when it's all white like that, but. Now I also took the quilt motif, and that's what is behind the tulips that are included in this collection. There's another thing that I did for my mom, is put one on a shirt. Let me go up here. Now what I wanted to show you, in the 5x7 size, you are getting them in 2 different styles. One with a satin outline, which makes it look like stained glass. And then, this is smaller size, and then you're getting it as a running stitch. So if you didn't want it to look like stained glass, then you can use the 5x7. But the 4x4s you're getting are all in a running stitch design. So you can see the difference between this versus this. And then you're getting all of the quilt motifs. So there's one in 4 sizes for each design for the quilting, 2 styles in the 5x7, and then the 4x4 has the running stitch style. Okay. You got close-ups of those, Tom? There we go. So we have tulips and pansies, and another color pansy, and I guess that's the tulip as well. Daffodils, and that's that pillow that I showed you. All right. This is a unique type of baby quilt. If you're looking for just something different, it's called Mylar Hanging in Flowers. So all of the animals in this are jungle animals, and each one is hanging on for dear life to a flower, and it is the flower that includes the Mylar in these designs. So we're going to see a close-up of some of those. If I am short on time, although I really like this type of quilt, and it's a quick quilt to do, is a double Irish chain. It also has those nice areas just screaming for embroidery. So if you ever can't, you can't think of what you want to do and you're running out of time, double Irish chain. You can whip those out like really quickly. I think, what is it called? Stitch in Time. I'm trying to think of the book that I use on that, Stitch in Time. Anyway, so here's some close-ups of some of those designs. And again, they're all jungle animals. Every one of them in this fits in a 5x7 hoop. So if someone's doing a jungle-themed nursery, this would be a fun one to do. And I think near there, I wanted to show you the sparkle here. You can see that in the flower, sort of. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
And then that cute little lion hanging on there. Now there's no quilt motif with this one. All this is free motion because I know I'll get questions on that too. We do have a quilting design collection that includes a bunch of quilt motifs that look like free motion, and that's our Quilting Designs 4 if you ever wanted to do that. But it just gives you that complete finished look when you're doing the quilting behind the designs. And if you want to, if you want to be the one that did the entire quilt, then again, use your embroidery machine to do your quilting. We have 2 videos that show you how to do that. This one's got a lot going on too. This is our Mylar Darling Angels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 girls and 5 boys. And these don't have to be Christmas. They can be at any time that you want to do that. And, we know our grandkids are our little angels. You're getting 5x7 and 4x4 in the little angels. And then there's also quilt motifs that go with that. Quilt motifs and redwork. Bonus. All right, so here's your little girls and your little boys. I'm going to show you a close-up of those. Actually, I'll show those here in a minute. So the Mylar in this one is her white dress. The wings are a satin type stitch fill. This is 5x7. Now, you're also getting them in 5x7 where the wings are applique. And again, I've used Minky in that applique. So the 5x7 where the wings are applique, you're still getting the Mylar in there. So it's just a fun little difference if you want them to be furry or not. And the quilt motifs for the girls, or whatever you want to do it with, is this right here. And these come in, how many sizes? 6 sizes each. So 5-inch up to 10-inch blocks. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 5-inch block up to 10-inch blocks. That's the one for the girls. And then let me just show you one of the boys. His, again, the shine is in the garment. And again, you'll get them the 2 styles. This is just the Mylar, where the wings are a satin fill. And then you also get them where you can make them as, it's the same design here, Minky or an applique. But they are 2 separate designs. You're not going to suddenly make a Mylar one and applique one, okay? And then the quilt motif that you get for the boys, again, interchangeable. I just did them, this way, is this one right here. 6 sizes again. And again, these, when you get our collections that have quilt motifs in them, you can use them on anything, okay? They don't have to just be for that collection. So that gives you, as you're getting our collections that include the quilt motifs, you are building your quilt design library, quilt motif library that you'll use on your embroidery machine. Okay, so are we going to see some close-ups on this? Oh, yeah, okay. Let me show you this. These are showing the 4x4s. The 4x4s, driving Tom crazy and popping up and down on these. You can see the white dress, the white garment is where the shine is. But here's your 4x4s. You're also getting the words My Little Angels. So what I envisioned was grandma can do this and put their grandchildren's names underneath each one of those. So these are your 4x4s. And These are your 5x7s. Again, My Little Angels comes with that in 2 sizes. So another fun thing, you can put them in whatever colors you want to, change the hair, change the pink on the girls can be whatever you want it to be. So 2 fun projects with that. I think we're going to look at some of we just showed them that. Some of the close-ups. Just sweet little kids, just simple designs for the kids. Now you're also getting, for every one of the designs in here, you are getting red work. Okay, do we get those in 2 sizes? No, they're all 5x7. They're all 5x7. So again, this is a quick stitch out. If you wanted to do just a bed quilt for some reason, using the Darling Angels to make your project bigger, the red work can be alternating blocks. So every other block will be Mylar, every other block will be in red work. But this is also a nice, quick, easy project that you can get done. I guess you could also use those as quilting motifs behind it too as well, but I'll leave one of these under here. Simple red work. Let's see, it's with all that white. And when I did the quilting that I did up here, I just stitched half of the girls' quilt motif. So you can see that right there. But a fun little banner if you don't have room to put all of these wonderful things we embroider. All right, gone through that one. This is our Mylar Swirly Ornamental. It kind of has an Asian feel to it. 12 designs that fit the 5x7 hoop. All the colors that I used in this collection came from that wonderful fabric that I found for this sample. That's a big quilt as well. And here's some close-ups. And they're just geometric shapes overlapping with the swirls and that kind of thing. So that's kind of fun if you're just looking for something decorative. Now I did this table runner, which is really big. I've got it across the table here. But this is a great example of taking one design and repeating it to get your center medallion type. This would be a great, even just this part right here, would be a great table topper. It could be circular, square, that kind of thing. These would be great on placemats as well. And then we've got each of the ends here. And again, you'll notice all my colors came from my fabrics. So that's just repeated on either side. So if you've got a really big table, this would be a really cool thing to do. I don't have a pattern for this one. It's just one of those things that I made up as I go. All right. All right, so let's see what some of our customers have done with these collections. We don't have something for everybody, but for every collection, but here we go. This is our femme fatale. The shoe bags, how appropriate, right? And then we've got the bench pillow. Both of these, they did their own storefronts on these. In fact, the one on the left for Lori Young, she entered and won a ribbon on that at one of the quilt shows. So she sent me that picture. And then the one on the right, I think that's brick fabric. And then she did her awning. We've got the awning just a little different on this one with the prairie points. And then the one on the right, the shoes that are in there. Now, the dress forms that you see with the dresses, that's actually printed panels. One of the stores that we did a store event in made this. And she showed it to me. She brought it out and showed it to me. And I was like, oh, that's really pretty. And she goes, those are your designs. I'm like, oh my God, I was just looking at the item as a whole. And what they did is they took the shoe, because you get a single shoe, and then they just repeated it. So now you have a pair of shoes. So again, really pretty in the black and red. And then we have, this is a play on one of the quilts we've done for, it's Unique Chic, boutique quilt that we've done, and the awnings, just done the awnings where each shoe is in its own individual window. And again, the shoe bag that I was telling you about before, this is hanging in flowers. The one with the pinwheels, that's a great pattern with the alternating blocks being empty. It's just screaming for something. So that's a great layout for embroidery. And then another lady came in the booth, and we didn't catch her name. It's been a long time. She did these wonderfully, actually, this is both sides of her bag that she was carrying. And that's an example of, if you like it, make it for yourself too. It doesn't have to be a kid's quilt. It doesn't have to be, if it's just fun and it's something you like, make it for yourself too. A lot of people we run into have embroidery machines. They've made stuff for everybody except for themselves. Make something for yourself. Be a walking advertisement for your creativity, okay? Here's your elephants. The one on the left, again, a great spot for embroidery. Those blocks in between. The ribbons is what I like to call that. And then the one on the right, you can see where they've done the elephants, and then they've done the borders with the elephant up at the top. And they did actually some really cool quilting up there with the elephants. This is the Spring Splendor. We've got a full quilt here that shows all of the designs, and then another store we went to, Quality in Bellingham, doing a table runner and a pillow. So let's hit some questions. All right, put some up there for me, Tom.
All right, let's see.
Can you do designs for edge-to-edge quilting at some point? I'm going to say no, because that actually is another designer's, that's what they're known for. So, and they do a very good job. We all know who the edge-to-edge person is. So, no, we won't be doing that. We do block for block. What batting do you like to use to help the designs? I use, I think for quite a few years now, I'm using an 80-20, 80 cotton, 20 polyester. And you can see my samples are really thin. But it still gives that enough lift for you to see the quilting design in there. So yeah, I buy a big roll bolt of it. And I've been using, I think I started with just the warm and natural 100% cotton, but I've gone to, for some reason, the 80-20 and just stuck with it. What type of machine do you use to make the samples, a multi-needle or single needle machine? I do all my samples on my single needle machine because the majority of my customers have a single needle machine. So I want to test and have the exact same situation that most of the customers have. So all done, even shirts, jackets, all of that, I do on my single needle. I have a multi-needle, but I haven't used it in years. It's wrapped up somewhere around here. But yeah, the flatbed single needle machine. So it can be done. Are you planning to come to Michigan for a national show? OSQE is in early November. Great show.
Nobody.
Nope. It won't be in 2026. I can't talk about anything beyond that future date because I just don't know. It's just circumstances. Yeah. I'm needing 4x4 designs for toddler girls. Anything you know specific? Now, we do have, when you go to the website, when we've got the categories of the designs like holiday and floral, that kind of thing. One of our categories is 4x4. Some of the collections in the category for 4x4 include 4x4 designs. So there may be some 5x7, but there's a good number of 4x4 with them. So you can go directly to that category and see if there's anything that's going to work for you that way, rather than searching through everything. What temp on a dryer can you dry wash items? However hot you want it to be. I'm assuming you're asking about the Mylar and how it's going to hold up. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I hang dry my own personal clothes, whether it is not embroidered or embroidered, just to make the garment itself last longer. The embroidery, I've got embroidered clothing that I need to throw away, but the embroidery's still pretty, so I don't. The shirt's either pilling or it's fading, that kind of thing. But yeah, no, not an issue. Any karate designs? No, I don't have any karate designs.
I don't have any other questions, I don't think. Oh, here you go.
How unique and different are these designs? I think that was a comment. Thank you.
I think that's it for questions.
All right. Hopefully we got to a lot of them, not very many that were very technical or anything. We will be doing in the future some more hint and tip videos and that kind of thing that gives you even more information about how I do things or make things turn out right and that kind of thing as far as stabilizers and hooping and that kind of thing.
Right,
you have one? How about soccer designs? No soccer designs. No soccer designs. Our suggestion list is like that. But the reason, because we travel so much, I think we're coming up to that real quick, Tom. Do you have that slide? We're going to show where we're going to be.
Yeah, it's coming up.
It's coming up. When we travel, we are not creating new collections. So we have to be home to create. So knocking off, what was I getting? Maybe 6 collections a year done. Well, we started traveling more and now we're getting 2 or 3 collections done a year. But also if you've noticed the collections since the last 5-6 years, they're huge. There's so many designs in them. So that's the time involved in test stitching all of them and then making all the samples for all of them. So all of that's time consuming. So we don't get to a lot of different collections that are suggested each year. Sports has been suggested. What our dilemma is, and when people ask for certain type of sports, we try to narrow down. Are you looking for it for like a baby quilt, or are you looking for more realistic? More realistic just sometimes doesn't really fit in our style, because we do have our own style of drawing. My husband draws these, and then I do the digitizing. I draw some of them as well. So, if we can, it's like people continue to ask for, we brought out our camper collection, and we got berated for not having a 5th wheel in there. Well, when we can figure out how to make a 5th wheel cute, then that will happen. So that's kind of some of the reasoning on why there's collections of this and not collections of that. All right. Special offer. So of the forgotten favorites that we showed y'all today, you are getting $10 off each of those, and you'll see those there. And I'm also going to show you where to access these. Now, the $10 off, there's no coupon code. They are already marked down, so you don't have to do that. Now, that markdown on these 10 collections is only good through Sunday night, midnight, December 21st, 2025. So if you don't get them before then, you're going to notice that they've gone back to their normal pricing. So you can, this is available, discounted price on either a download or a CD. So you can go either way with those as well. Now, where do I find these? Again, go to the website. On the homepage, you'll see Behind the Shine. You're going to click that box that says Details and Register here. Click on that. It's going to take you to the landing page, and you'll scroll down. It's a long page. There we go. And you're going to see $10 off. Again, no coupon code needed for this. Those are your 10 collections. Now, if you will click, instead of going to the collections, click here to purchase, and it's going to take you to the page that shows all 10. So you don't have to hunt around for them. We've made it real convenient. They're right along there. And each one has a button for either digital download or as a physical CD. So they're all right there. If you wanted to look at the samples for each one again, you can go to that collection page for each one and see what we've done. And we have the replay that's available for, again, the 48 hours up to Sunday night, December 21st, 2025 until midnight. Okay. Now let's get to the free design, which I know y'all are waiting for. All right, Tom. How appropriate for this time of year. It is Happy New Year. This fits in a 5x7 hoop, and I always try to do the free designs in a 5x7 hoop because not everybody has a machine that has a larger hoop. We've done a nice little block here for these. Tom, is there something you needed to go make available?
Yeah.
While I'm talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to show you, you want to go to that page before you walk off? Okay, we're going to show you where to find this. So again, you're going to go to the home page and click on Behind the Shine. He's going to bring that up bigger. So go to the home page, click on Behind the Shine. You'll scroll all the way down to that landing page, and you're going to see the Happy New Year free design there. It comes in all formats, and the color change chart is included in the zip file that has the designs. So you're going to download by clicking the black button. Now, this is only available until Sunday, December 21st, 2025, and then it goes away. You cannot get it beyond that date. You cannot get it. You cannot email me later and say, I forgot to get it. It is only good until those dates. And this is not included in any collection. So this is just for y'all because we appreciate y'all tuning in with us. And it's always fun to get something free. So it is a Mylar embroidery design. Tom, if you...
Tell them the size again.
5x7. Fits in a 5x7 hoop. And I'm gonna bring this to the overhead camera so you can see the part that is the Happy New Year is the sparkle. And again, you can do it in any colors. I chose these colors based on my fabric. And we didn't put a year on there because it's more versatile when there's no nothing limiting like putting a year on that. All right. So again, you're going to go to the home page, click on Behind the Shine, scroll all the way down that landing page, and then you're going to see it there. Do not miss out. It's limited. It goes away. Okay? Do not miss out. The replay happens until that time, midnight on Sunday, December 21st. The discount on those 10 collections, midnight, Sunday night, and the free design, and then it's gone. Okay? Let's do the door prize. All right. Our nifty little system we use here with StreamYard does a draw for us automatically. As long as you have made a comment in the comment section, it is going to automatically enroll you into the door prize, sign you up for it, even with a high or state or that kind of thing. So let's see. It's going to start collecting. We've got 77 people that have made comments, 78. All right. Okay, we're going to draw. Here we go. It's crazy when it slows down. Christy Henderson, you have just won a collection of your choice. Okay. I know we've got the 10 on sale, but you can pick whatever you want, and I will send it to you after this design. So this gives me your email, and I'm going to email you as soon as this is over, and then you'll reply back to me with the collection that you want me to send you. We're going to send you a digital download. Okay? All right. Well, I hope y'all saw something that interests you. Oh, he's saying, but wait, there's more. Got a lot to click on here. This is our list. These are contracts that we have completed and are going to in 2026. The dates and the venue is listed under show and events on our website. And the fun thing is if you click on it, it's gonna give you more information on each particular show. So right off in January, we're off to California. Okay, so these are the shows we're doing next year. This is going to give us, this year we did 18 shows. This is 9, I believe. It's going to give us more time to get some collections pumped out and, do some fun things here on our monthly Behind the Shine. So be sure and check us out.
Somebody said no Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It's changing.
The dates for Texas keep changing. We'll have to see. The contract the contracts don't even come out for that until early to mid-year next year. And if we do add anything, it will be included on our show and events list on the thing. So thank you for asking that question or making that comment. So check us out there. And like I said, our Behind the Shine, we are going to try really hard to do every month. We will be traveling. I think it'd be really cool to do something in the booth one of these times. So we're going to see how that lands. So again, want to reiterate the discount, the free design, and the replay only available until Sunday, December 21st, 2025. Okay, so I hope y'all saw something that interests you, or we because we got so many of these collections. Periodically, we'll do this again just to remind you of some things that maybe you didn't know we had. Okay, and then in addition to that, even if you had no interest in whatever collection we showed you some samples, okay, some fun samples that you might be able to incorporate your designs into, or make your project, that kind of thing. All right, so is that everything, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I forget a lot. All right, well, thank y'all again, and be sure and take advantage of those specials. So until next time on Behind the Shine, we'll see you then, and thank you.